whether God can do powerful things is probably not. But whenever I start to see the enemy come hard and attack in every way he can, I'm always like, oh, God must be up to something. Because the only thing the enemy can do is try to disrupt what God's doing, right? So I don't know if any of you feel that same way.
Hello.
I don't know if any of you feel that same way, but I was just sensing, man, so much warfare, so much coming against. But I love what Bill Johnson says. He says, we only focus on the enemy long enough to get him in our crosshairs. Right? And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to focus in on what God is doing. But I just want to share with you that I sent this out in a text, so maybe some of you got it if you didn't get to hear me again. Cool. But I've had such a sense that God is saying this is a time of preparation for something massive. And I kept feeling that and kind of saying it. And then I was like, is this just wishful thinking? Because it's kind of in the world and kind of in a lot of our lives, it's like stuff just keeps piling on. Anybody else feeling that? Am I alone? Am I the only one? No? Yeah. So I was like, is that just wishful thinking, God? Am I just, again, hoping that is something going to break? Come on, I'm just hoping. And then we got, there's just been so many confirmations that no, that is true. I got an email that gets sent out to a bunch of people, I'm not special, but from Nate Johnston. He has a really powerful ministry, and some of the things he said in that word yesterday hit so hard, and it was all about how this is a time he feels a shift, he feels something coming, and I've talked to so many people who feel that same thing. This is a time of preparation that God is about to reveal, and the enemy is of course going to attack. So it might actually, if you don't have your eyes fixed in the right place, it might actually look like the world is falling apart. But if you have your eyes fixed up on what God is doing, you realize, all the enemy's doing is revealing his hand. I heard something else a few weeks ago, and I'm probably going to butcher it, but it was when the enemy becomes just it's right in your face, and everything he's doing becomes obvious, it's not his best move, it's his last. Right? And so we have to realize that the enemy, he's trying to get out there, but he's trying to wreak havoc wherever he can. But the truth is, God is on the move, and I just feel such a sense that these 10 days and beyond are just going to be a time of massive preparation for us, his family, his army, and people around the globe, that God is on the move, and I promise you, you're going to see good things, you're going to see things shift in your life. So welcome to the first night of Upper Room. If I don't know you, if I haven't met you, my name is Tirsha, this is Cody.
Hello.
And we love this church. We love all of you. And the cool thing is this 10 nights, we actually get to hear from a whole bunch of different people, and there's going to be different worship leaders and just all kinds of stuff. Different people preparing the meal. How many of you guys enjoyed the meal tonight? Marshall and Mike, it was amazing, so thank you so much. But yeah.
Yes.
Hello, welcome to the Upper Room.
Yeah.
Yes. We just felt it was important to kind of give you guys a background, kind of where we are in our journey. I see a lot of new faces in here, but a lot of seasoned faces as well, like people with us, not as seasoned as old, but you know what I'm saying. You've been through the ringer with us, but it's been good. So about 5-7 years ago, as a church, we just decided, man, we're really gonna go after the Holy Spirit. Everything was good and things were running great, but it's man, God was just pulling us, just calling us deeper. And Tirsha and I, we actually got 5 years ago? It was 5 years ago. Pentecost Sunday, we got baptized in the Holy Spirit.
That was the year before that.
That was the year before that? 6 years, I don't know, whatever. But anyways, so we just really started pursuing the Holy Spirit, and then just started kind of asking more questions, and then realized we celebrate Christmas, we celebrate Easter, both really big deals, but man, why do we not celebrate Pentecost? This is a big deal. Pentecost is huge, right? It's huge. Because Jesus, he actually said, it's better that I go away so that you could receive the Holy Spirit. And I think when Jesus says something like that, it's really important to pay attention. And so pretty much we're man, you know what we're going to do? We're really going to spend that 10 days from Ascension Day to Pentecost Sunday, and we're really going to seek God. The 120 disciples, Jesus said, stay and wait, and only 120 of them did. And man, could you imagine being part of the 120? Like, tongues of fire coming down, they start speaking in tongues, miracles start breaking out, and then that day 3,000 are added to the number of the church. Can you imagine? Like, put yourself back there, and the crazy thing is, it's the same Holy Spirit today that did that back 2,000 years ago. Yeah, you can clap. That's awesome. We just found ourselves on this journey, so welcome to this leg of our journey as we pursue the Holy Spirit more. And I just want you to come with expectancy this next 10 days. We're going to have a lot of awesome worship and speakers and all that, but really what this is actually us making a space for the Holy Spirit. That's it. I mean, we're ready for our plans to shift completely. If the Holy Spirit's saying something different, we're going to shift. That's just, we don't want to be in charge of this thing. Our goal, our heart's desire is to actually say, Holy Spirit, come. Just like we sang, we didn't just sing the words, we're like, we want Holy Spirit, come. Whatever that looks like. If that's uncomfortable, it's uncomfortable. It's just the way it is, and but either way, it's going to be amazing. Yes, so welcome. Another thing with, I keep wanting to call it Pentecost nights. We called it a couple things over the years. First thing was the Pentecost thing. Like, I don't know what this is. So we called it the Pentecost thing. Then it became Pentecost nights. And then now it's the upper room. But anytime, during what we're doing, if you feel like, hey, Holy Spirit has something to say, and you're like, I'm just burning, I gotta say this, it's an open floor. We're willing to take that risk. Because we want God to do what He wants to do. So as we were praying, we were in our little meeting room over there, just like, what are we going to do for these 9 nights, one morning? And we just felt like God highlighted John 15 to us, so I'm just going to read that right now. Out of the Passion Translation. I'm sorry if you're offended that we're reading from the Passion Translation. Sorry, Mom, sorry. It's awesome. I am a true sprouting vine, and the farmer who tends the vine is my Father. He cares for the branches connected to me by lifting and propping up the fruitless branches and pruning every fruitful branch to yield a greater harvest. The words I've spoken over you have already cleansed you. So you must remain in life union with me, for I remain in life union with you. For as a branch severed from the vine will not bear fruit, so your life will be fruitless unless you live your life intimately joined to mine. I am the sprouting vine, and you're my branches. As you live in union with me as your source, fruitfulness will stream from within you. But when you live separated from me, you are powerless. If a person is separated from me, he is discarded. Such branches are gathered up and thrown into the fire to be burned. But if you live in life union with me, and if my words live powerfully within you, then you can ask whatever you desire and it will be done. When your lives bear abundant fruit, you demonstrate that you are my mature disciples who glorify my Father. I love each of you with the same love that the Father loves me. You must continually let my love nourish your hearts. If you keep my commands, you will live in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commands. For I continually live nourished and empowered by His love. My purpose for telling you these things is so that the joy that I experience will fill your hearts with overflowing gladness. So this is my command. Love each other deeply, as much as I have loved you. For the greatest love of all is a love that sacrifices all. And this great love is demonstrated when a person sacrifices his life for his friends. You show that you are my intimate friends when you obey all that I command you. I have never called you servants because a master doesn't confide in his servants, and servants don't always understand what the master is doing. But I call you my most intimate friends, for I reveal to you everything that I've heard from my Father. You didn't choose me, but I've chosen and commissioned you to go into the world to bear fruit. And your fruit will last, because whatever you ask my Father for my sake, He will give it to you. So this is my parting command. Love one another deeply.
Just as I hear those words, it's so powerful. We love the Passion Translation, but all the translations are beautiful because it's talking about how we cannot live apart from God. We cannot do this on our own. But what's crazy is how often so many of us try. There's people who can live their whole Christian life just trying on their own. And then there's many of us who we get it, we know, okay, God, I need you, and then the next day we're like, okay, I'm gonna try on my own again. Oh wait, no, I need you. Oh wait, I'm gonna try on my own, and I can't sit, I'm sorry. We keep getting this backwards. We keep thinking, oh, I have to somehow get myself in a place. I have to somehow get myself to cling to the branch, right? And the truth is, though, we can often, as Christians, I think we all get to the point that you kind of get it hammered in your head as a Christian. Salvation is a free gift, right? Everybody got that one? We're clear? Okay, we're past kindergarten. Awesome. So we see, okay, yes, I get it. I cannot save myself. We all are totally okay with accepting that we are dirty, rotten sinners, and we've done all these bad things, and I cannot fix it myself. And so, yes, Jesus is the one who saves me. And we cross over into the light of salvation, knowing that now, yes, I've got it. I've got salvation. I'm secure for eternity. And then the next step is we need to become more like Christ. It's a process called sanctification. And we're like, okay, become more like Christ. I accept the free gift of salvation. Now I need to become more like Christ. What do I got to do? Okay, I got to read my Bible more. Okay, I got to worship more. Okay, am I doing the right thing? Oh, I lied right there. Oh, I'm a terrible person. Okay, God, I'm so sorry that I did it. And we get into this earning mode, and this, how do I become more like Christ? I'm going to do everything in my power to become more like Christ. And I was thinking about, I was reading an amazing book that you're going to be hearing a whole lot more about this summer. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry, because it's amazing. But this book called Forming, and he spoke about how we see the seed, and you look at these vines up here, these grapevines, and you see the seed and you go, okay, how do I make that turn into grapes? And we, as Christians, we look at that and we go, okay, God, I need to become more like you, Jesus. Okay, I need to do these things. And we start making checklists for ourselves, and all of a sudden we've just become the new Pharisees. Why? Because in the old covenant, those were the Pharisees. They were the ones who were like, I'm going to do everything right. I'm going to live by all the laws. They were the most outwardly perfect people. Right? They did everything that the law commanded them to do, and yet when they saw the real Messiah, they couldn't even recognize him because he wasn't a list of rules. He was a real person. And so we look at this seed and we go, okay, and some of us start to pick up our clay and we start to try to mold a bunch of grapes as best we can. We try to, okay, God, I'm going to do this. I'm going to read my Bible. I'm going to do all these things to become more like you. And I'm not saying any of those things are bad. I don't want anyone to get me wrong here. But we think that those things are what makes us more like Christ. And some of us are actually really good artists and sculptors. So our fake clay grapes look really good to everybody else. But I want to promise you take a bite of that, it is not going to nourish you. It's going to break your teeth. But what we actually have to look at is we have to go, okay, God has given me a seed. How do I participate with him in becoming like him? Well, I have to take that seed and I have to plant it in good soil. I need to make sure that I'm surrounded by good soil, the right people, the right teaching, the right whatever, or just, yes, getting into the word, all those things, but they come out of a place of relationship with God, not of earning my way to becoming like him. Does this make any sense? Yes. And so all we have to do is take the seed that he gives us, put it in the good soil, and water it. That's it. And now, he's the one who makes that seed firstly die in the ground, and then start to sprout, and put roots down, and then all of a sudden branches come up. He's the one. And we are called, he is the vine and we are the branches, and the fruit comes off of us. We cannot force it to. We try to. Many of us try to. I'm going to be a good person. I'm going to try to be more, peaceful or patient or joyful or whatever. We try to. But in the end, we get exhausted because we're actually not able to transform ourselves. Don't know if anybody knows that. You can try all the self-help books in the world, but you can't actually transform yourself. All you can do is take the seed that God gave you, place it into the soil of your heart, and water it, tend to it. Keep yourself connected to him. Every time you feel that disconnect, you go, God, okay, I'm right here. You're right here. How do I connect to you? God, I need you to transform my heart. If you don't like reading the Bible, okay, God, I know it's your living word. Why don't I like reading it? What's going on in me? And then he transforms your heart and goes, oh, I'm actually going to give you a love for my word because it's my word and I love it and it's got so many good things for you. God, I don't really get worship. I don't get it. I don't want to. I stand here and I feel nothing and everybody else is like crazy and seems so into it and I don't get it. Okay, God, why don't I love worship? What's going on? And you allow him to speak to you. What is it? Do you feel uncomfortable? What is it? And then he speaks to you and he transforms your heart. You don't force yourself to do that. Right? Yes, there's obedience, but even obedience gets to come out of God. I know I'm called to obey you right now, but I don't feel it. So God, what do you want me to do? What is it? What's going on? And you allow him to come into that space. He wants to get into those spaces with you. He doesn't want you to just become a robot. He doesn't want you to have to mold your own bunch of grapes. We participate with God, but he is the one who transforms us. He is the one who makes us grow. And so tonight, what we really want to do is give you an opportunity to connect to the vine. We could talk at you for the next, 30 minutes or 2 hours if we felt like it, and you probably all fall asleep or go home. But we could, but we don't want to. What we want to do is just create a space where you can actually encounter the living God. And so Cody and I just spent some time together just praying and asking God, what do you want to say to us together collectively tonight? What do you want to say? And so we're just going to read to you what we felt like he was saying from his perspective. And so I invite you right now, just if you want to close your eyes, if you want to get comfortable, if you want to get on the ground, I don't care what you do. Whatever you want to do to get comfortable. And just listen to these words. And if there's any that, as we say them, you feel this, I don't know. Firstly, know that we've really checked these out and they're biblical. And if you feel any of that, tension in your heart, don't push it away. Actually go, God, why do I feel that tension? God, what's going on? What is that? Why don't I believe such and such? So God, we just actually want to give you this time completely. Lord, if there's anything that Cody and I have written down that was not your heart, we fully give it over to you, and we just say that you delete it right now from the screen. But God, we want to believe you and everything you say about us. God, we don't want our own experiences, our own insecurities, maybe things that we've learned in the past, maybe lies that the enemy's thrown at us. We don't want anything to get in the way of you and what you're saying tonight. Jesus, speak through us. God, speak to our hearts.
My child, I love you more than you can possibly imagine. You were my idea. You were my idea before you were even born. I know the deepest parts of you, the intricacies of who you are. I know the numbers of hairs on your head. I understand your struggles. I welcome your doubts. You were my idea, and I don't make mistakes. There's nothing you could accomplish to make me love you more. There's nothing you could mess up to make me love you less. Now wait, that thing that just popped into your head and made you feel like you aren't worthy of this love, that's a lie. Because I love you completely. I loved you enough to create you, already knowing all the ways that you would stray. But I'm always here to bring you back to me. I know there are things that are heavy on your heart. There's people, family, situations, pain and trauma in your past. impossible situation. Don't push it down. Don't try to just be okay. Bring it to the surface and let me in. What is heavy on your heart? For you to actually ask that question. What is heavy on your heart? Just lay it before the Lord. Just release our heaviness to you. Just love you because I have to. I choose you. My love is not dependent on your love. My love is not dependent on your behavior. My love is not dependent on your checklist of good deeds, Christian disciplines. So let me love you in the heaviness. Let me in. Let me lift that burden. I loved you enough to create you. I loved you enough to leave paradise to save you. I loved you enough to go to the cross for you. And I would do it again. I love you enough to die for you, go to the depth of darkness to bring you into light. And I would do it again for you, a million times. Do you know that you are made for eternity? Know that you are seated in heavenly places. As my Son ascended, so did your spirit. Even right now, your body is in this room, but your spirit is seated on the throne of Christ at my right hand. So speak to your situation from heaven's perspective instead of Earth's limited view. I offer you an exchange tonight. Your burden for mine. Your burden is heavy. It's been weighing you down. Those moments that you feel overwhelmed or defeated. That's not who you are. Your burden is too much. My yoke is easy, and my burden is light. So make the exchange. Your stress for my strength. Your pain for my purpose. Your guilt for my grace. Ask me what I think about you.
Full of joy. And when I see you, I see the righteousness of Christ. But I also see you exactly how I created you to be. You are loved beyond measure. You're creative, and you're gifted, and you're talented, and you're smart. And you have all the resources of heaven locked inside your heart. I'm doing a new thing. Watch it spring up. Streams in the wasteland. I know sometimes you hear that and you wonder if it's true. All your experiences feel like things keep getting worse. And I get it. I welcome your doubt. Let me into your doubts too. What are they? Here now, and I'm here always. I promise to never leave you or forsake you, and I never will. I don't break my promises. I'm here to prove all your doubts wrong. I'm here to show you that the wastelands will spring up with new life. For all eternity, yes, for all eternity, all the pain will be gone and the promises fulfilled. No tears or weeping. But I'm not just speaking of eternity now. You will see the goodness of God in the land of the living. You will see my goodness. You will see new life spring up from the ground. We've been digging a deep well, you and I. Sometimes the dirt and the darkness can feel never ending. But tonight you have an invitation to put your feet down in that dirt again. Do you feel the moisture coming? Do you sense the dry ground breaking underneath your feet? It's time. The living water is coming to restore your soul and bring this world back to my feet. The living water of the Word will no longer be a duty to earn my acceptance. My Word will no longer be a line on the checklist. My Word will refresh your heart and will spring out of a heart held by me. The living water of my Spirit who washes over your self-doubt and insecurity. The living water of my truth destroying all the lies and the flaming arrows of the enemy. He's coming hard after you to get you to tap out. But surrender is my specialty. Surrender to me and not to defeat. It's time. Time for the past season to become the ground cover for new growth. Time for the storm to settle when you finally learn to sleep through it because I'm in your boat. Time for the striving to cease and the ease to lead. Can you feel it? The shaking? The compromise dissipating? The fear being cast into the sea? Can you feel it? The remnant rising, the army of God's faithful standing and refusing to back down. You are that army. I trust you with my heart. I trust you with my people. I trust you with all that is to come. You are my family. The one I love. The one I've longed to draw near. You are my child. Fully valued. Fully seen. Fully known. Fully forgiven. Fully accepted. Fully loved. And finally free. Let the wells of my living water spring up.